Would it be worth getting a cheap DSLR and lens just for live streaming? You know what? It might be because it gives you more versatility. So I've got a lens here that is kind of something I'm checking. It's a really cheap 28 to 90 millimeters lens, but that paired with a cheap camera DSLR body will give you decent background blur and cinematic feel to your camera. You can use it all via USB if you pick up a Canon camera. I've done a few videos about this, so you're probably familiar with the term, but if you're not, I'll link you in the chapters to some of the videos I talked about to explain how to use cheap lenses and camera bodies combined together to give you a live stream. I did a series of videos all the way from, you can see 100, 200, 300, 400 and onwards, different cameras. So wherever budget you've got, there's something there available for you. I did a live search to find it, as well as cheap lenses to go with that. So as part of that, this lens I've got here would fall between the 50 and £100 range, depending on the the condition, basically how well used or the lens is, or how many things you get with it, because you can get extra filters with it and additional cases and things like that. So that's something to keep in mind. But would it work? Would you be able to use a cheap camera and a cheap lens to get a decent live stream? Yes, you could. You can use your Canon DSLR camera, which I've done a number of videos on, as a webcam via USB, which lets you get what I'm doing right now, because this is a USB webcam. It is at 720p. I've stretched that in my software, which I use, it's OBS, to a 1080p feed. However, it still gives reasonable images. I mean, for what I'm doing, it's perfectly fine. Unless you pixel peep, that's when you're going to start noticing differences. And as well as that, you don't even have to use a cheap DSLR. How about a cheap camcorder? So there you can see that is a standard camcorder that I'm using via HDMI out. So the main things you want to keep in mind is the camera going to be a clean HDMI? So again, I've mentioned this in the past, so I want you to be able to get the most from these types of shots. So you can see as part of this, I can just click my mouse, change the camera, and use different types of lenses on my setup to make it a wide or a narrow stream. So this is a quick little video to introduce you to the options you can do to set up a live stream, which can be live streamed on YouTube, Facebook, but you could also use these on things like Zoom meetings, Teams meetings, Discord, and StreamYards or Streamlabs OBS if you use it like I do. So I'm hoping that gives you an idea and opens up your mind to how you can set up cheap things to get multiple views and set up live streams, which can make your edits look a lot more fancy. So looking at some of these videos, this is all giving you different aspects of that. So I'll see you on a playlist which explains this in more detail coming up.